Now, after my wife and I get married, something shifted in our relationship. It felt like out of nowhere, just warfare hit our house. Out of nowhere, we are arguing about everything. We are fighting about everything. We at each other's throat about everything. I am seeing all of her flaws. She is seeing all of my flaws. It seems like every week was replete with fights and arguments. I mean, we are just in battle all the time. And I'm wondering, man, what happened to that time we dated when we was in bliss? And now all of a sudden we are married. It's like we're two different people at each other's throat all the time. It was in that season, a man who I used to be in relationship with came to me and said, man of God, I had a dream about you and Lena. He said, I saw in the dream you were standing in the kitchen, you and Lena. A man walked up to you and whispered in your ear. Then he walked up to Lena and whispered in her ear. Y'all turned towards each other and started fighting. And then the man walked out of the room. As I prayed about that dream, man, I got revelation in my heart. That man in the dream represented Satan himself. And what the Lord was revealing to me in that dream is that after my wife and I came into a covenant of marriage, we became a target for the adversary. And then I realized that a lot of our fights, a lot of our differences, our arguments was being instigated in our hearts by demonic influences. I would feel things in my heart against her that was not biblical. She would feel things in her heart against me that was not biblical. We know the enemy can influence us demonically, for this is what he did to Jesus in Matthew 4. When the Lord is in a place of vulnerability, after fasting 40 days and 40 nights, here comes the enemy to tempt him in his vulnerability. And so now as I'm reading the word of God, I get to letters like the letter Paul wrote to the church at Ephesus. And I realize that, watch, marriage is not only a covenantal relationship between a male and female, but marriage is also a picture of Christ and the church. Now it makes sense to me that in the natural realm we are fighting, but in the spiritual realm, every time the devil sees a biblical union, he sees something that aggravates him. He sees a picture of Christ and the church, and what he would do is take his knife of influence, lies and deceit, and on that canvas, he would do anything he can to cut that canvas, ruin that canvas, distort that canvas, destroy marriage. Is there any evidence of that? Yes, because there's anecdotal data in this room, in the overflow across that camera, of couples who got married and felt warfare after marriage.